Welcome back, Holistic Soul Sisters. It's me, Mandy Rose, your Relational Astrologer, and in today's Astro Weather video, we're talking about the new moon in Libra. Libra represents relationships. We have Mercury, who is retrograde in Libra, also helping us communicate better in relationships. So we are going to talk heavily about relationships and how this is a new moon, new beginning in this area of our life. In this video, we're going to talk about the basic things you need to understand about a new moon in Libra, which happens every single year, the energy of Libra and what that means, and then we're going to dive into the specifics of this new moon in Libra happening in 2022. And of course, like I always do with all of my new and full moon videos, I'm going to end this video with ritual ideas and activities that you can incorporate around the time of this new moon. So let's go ahead and start out with the basics. This new moon in Libra is happening on Sunday, September 25th at 5:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you're going to want to go ahead and adjust that for your time zone. Also, you're going to want to pull up your birth chart and look, where does Libra fall within your birth chart? What house does Libra rule for you? And you're going to also want to look in your birth chart to see if you have any planets at 2 degrees of Libra. Because as we pull up the chart here, we're going to see that the sun and the moon are both located at 2 degrees at the time of this new moon. Now, new moons are times for new beginnings, new chapters. It is when the moon in the sky is at its darkest. It is blocked out by the sun. So when we go outside at night during a new moon, it is pitch dark. And from that moment forward, the moon can only grow in light. So it is an opportunity to start something fresh. In order to better understand a Libra new moon, which happens every single year, we need to first understand the energy of Libra. So let's go ahead and dive into all about Libra energy. Now, the sun has entered Libra just 2 days prior, so it is Libra season, which means that for the entire zodiac month, we are going to be feeling the energy of Libra. And when the moon enters the zodiac sign of Libra to create this new moon energy, we're going to feel it even more. So to start off with, Libra is an air sign. Air signs are all about the mind, right? So what we're thinking, what we're creating, the ideas, it's the ethereal world, it's the way that we communicate things to one another. Now, Libra is represented by the scales. This is really interesting because out of all the zodiac signs that we have and all the symbols, so for instance, when I say symbols, I mean Scorpio is ruled by the scorpion, Aries is the ram, Sagittarius is the archer, Aquarius is the water bearer. So all the zodiac signs have a specific symbol. The fun fact about Libra is ruled by the scales, and it is the only zodiac sign that has an inanimate object as its symbol. So Libra is a very special energy. It is also halfway through the zodiac year. So we start off the astrological year with the zodiac sign of Aries, and we're halfway through when we get to Libra. So we are halfway through now this astrological year. Libra, as the scales, being halfway through the year, rules justice. It wants balance. It wants harmony. It wants fairness, right? The scales need to be tipped into the center for everyone to be happy. And so Libra energy comes with this peacekeeping attitude. And if you know someone who is a Libra or has heavy Libra energy within their birth chart, they can be a little bit of a people pleaser. They care more about the we or the group than they do about themselves. So we have to be careful during Libra season and during new moons in Libra that we're not forgetting our own needs or forgetting our own boundaries. So Libra rules the justice system, it rules fairness and equality. Libra, as an air sign, loves to communicate. It is the zodiac sign of relationships, so it is the area of life that comes up during Libra season. That is relationships that we have not only with ourselves, but deep, intimate partnerships, marriages, long-term relationships, deep, intimate friendships, those ones that you have for a very long amount of time. Libra rules business relationships, collaborations, anything that creates a we energy. And with this balance and fairness mentality that comes along with Libra, there's an opportunity during Libra season, and especially around a new moon in Libra, to make peace with someone. Being a relationship sign, we can go back to a conversation, go back to a relationship, and create more peace or harmony or fairness around that. So this is something great to pay attention to during Libra season. And lastly, I always like to bring up the planet, the life coach I call them, that rules this new moon. And Venus is the ruler of the new moon in Libra because Venus is the ruler of Libra. And who is Venus? Remember, she is the goddess of love, of fertility, of pleasure, of our values, of what's beautiful in the world. She rules the arts and entertainment and things that just feel really good to us. So during Libra season, I nickname Libra season soulmate season. We are feeling more loving, we're feeling more harmonious, we're feeling more balanced, we're feeling like we want to create a we or a partnership. We are wanting fairness in our life. And so I nickname Libra season soulmate season. So if you are in the market for a new relationship, new moons, new beginnings, this is an optimal time for you to manifest that. So now that we have a better understanding of Libra energy, we can dive into this new moon in Libra. Now remember, new moons in Libra happen every single year. And when this comes around, we have this opportunity to start something new, manifest something new, have a new beginning, a new opportunity. And with Libra, again, ruling relationships, this is a great time for us to kind of consider what new relationships do we want in our life? Do we want better, stronger friendships that are more in alignment with our new hobbies or our new lifestyle or maybe a new location if we've moved recently? Do we need new business relationships? Maybe you're looking for more collaborations or partnerships, or you're looking for someone to help you in a specific area of your business. Maybe you're looking for a new romantic relationship. You've been single for a while, and now during Libra season and around the time of this new moon, you're ready to set an intention to meet someone. Or maybe you're just trying to create a better relationship with yourself. Again, creating more balance. Maybe you've been giving to other people and it's time to put up boundaries, right? Libra loves some good boundaries, creating this space to have more harmony with you and the other people in your life. So new moons, new beginnings, new intentions around this area of relationship in our life. However, as I do in all my videos, we talk about the general theme of that new moon in Libra, but now we have to dive more specific because every year when we have a new moon in Libra, there is new astrological energy, because the other planets, the other life coaches, are in completely different places in the sky every single year during a new moon in Libra. And so where they are in the sky gives us better clues on the energy we should be maximizing at the time of this new moon in Libra. So let's go ahead and dive into the specifics for 2022. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this chart again. We can see the sun at 2 degrees of Libra, the moon conjunct the sun also at 2 degrees of Libra. Now, also in the zodiac sign of Libra, we recently had Mercury. If you've been following my astro weather over on Instagram, the What's in the Stars Saturday, you know that Mercury is retrograde right now. If you haven't caught my Mercury in retrograde video, go ahead and watch it at the end of this video, because Mercury is retrograde during this new moon in Libra. He is retrograding from the zodiac sign of Libra back into Virgo, and this will last us until October 2nd. At that point, Mercury will be in Virgo, but he still has to get back on track, and he will come back to this area of the sky in Libra where this new moon is happening today, and he's going to circle back around. So it's very important for us to talk about this Mercury retrograde because he will be crossing back over this area of the sky where this new moon is happening. Now, Mercury is the messenger. Mercury is all about communication, right? He's our mind, and he helps us speak what we're thinking into our life. And so Mercury being retrograde in Libra, it was a very relationship-focused retrograde. I don't want to dive too much into it because you can watch all the details in that Mercury retrograde video, but Mercury going through Libra and retrograding back into Virgo is asking us to Libra relationships, assess, think with our mind, Mercury, on how we can make them better. Virgo. As he moves back into Virgo, Virgo is the perfectionist. Virgo is critical. Virgo is analytical. It's detailed. It's practical. It's wanting to get down into the nitty-gritty details of what I want. And with Mercury helping your mind figure out the details of what you want in relationship, it's going to allow you at at the time of this new moon to be very clear as to your wants, your needs, your boundaries, what you're looking for in a partner, how you want to be in partnership, how do you want to love yourself, how do you want to care for yourself, right? And then being able to communicate that to the other people in your life, right? So as Mercury ends his retrograde on October 2nd and gets back on track, by the time he makes it back into Libra, we're going to be very clear about what we're looking for, what we're wanting in a partnership moving forward. So this new moon is an optimal time to, again, really hone in on the relationships of your life. Take some inventory. Look around, use your mind to think, is this working? Is this not working? It would work better if I'm not speaking up in this way, or I'm not clear, all those kind of communication relationship things. And as a relational astrologer, my goal is to help you have better relationships by understanding not only your birth chart, but the birth chart of the people around you and also the current astro weather. So this new moon in Libra is right up my alley as a relational astrologer. So that's what's going on with Mercury. The interesting thing with Mercury, and that's going to lead us into talking about our new moon ruler, who is Venus, is that Mercury, as he was in Virgo earlier in the year, just about a month ago, he was in Virgo solo. So I'm going to put up this chart right here, and we're going to see that Mercury was here in Virgo all alone. Venus, our chart ruler, was back in Leo. But fast forward to today in the chart of this new moon, we can see that the second time Mercury ended up in Virgo, as he backed up in the sky, as he backed into Virgo a second time, guess who was there waiting for him? That's Venus. She was waiting, saying, hey, I'm meeting up with you on your second pass through into Virgo so we can help you find details, Virgo, more practical ways of doing things, Virgo, finding more understanding, Virgo, to have more perfect Virgo relationships, Libra, and Mercury using your mind and your ability to communicate that back out into the world with love, Venus. So I absolutely love this alignment at the time of this new moon, that Venus is in Virgo, assisting all of this energy. She's our moon ruler. So these new relationships we're creating, these new intentions we're setting at the time of this new moon in the area of life of relationships is supported by our chart ruler Venus and Virgo, helping us get very clear, very analytical, very practical to figure out what we want. But there's one little challenge of Venus at the time of this new moon, and that is we can see Venus is directly opposite Neptune in the sky. Neptune is in Pisces, he is currently retrograde, Venus is in Virgo, and it's very different energies. Venus doesn't like to be in Virgo. It's challenging because Virgo is practical, it's analytical, it's detailed, it's perfectionistic, it's a little critical, it always wants to make things better. And that's not really conducive for love. So we're trying to be practical in love. We're trying to get details to be more loving, to have more loving relationships. But across the sky, Neptune, now remember, Neptune is the planet of illusion, of fantasy, of literally going goo goo gaga over your partner, right? Not seeing them clearly, putting rose-colored glasses on. But at the time of this new moon, Neptune is retrograde. And when Neptune's retrograde, the glasses come off. We see the truth. We see exactly what's going on here. We see the other person very clearly. And so you can see, again, going back to this Virgo Venus, who's very practical, very rational, very trying to figure it out so we can have a perfect relationship. But Neptune's like, we're ripping the rose-colored glasses off. We need to see this person for exactly who they are so we can make a very rational decision of how we want this relationship to be moving forward. Or do we need a whole new relationship? So there's a lot of harmony and alignment right now of seeing things for what they are, being very clear, not being foggy, not being hazy, but with that clarity can come discomfort. So when we see things for what they truly are, they can be a little shocking. It can be a little hard to grasp when someone is being a certain way and we're wanting to believe the best in them, but maybe that's just not where they are, or maybe that's not who they want to be. So try to see people for surface value. Also with this Mercury retrograde, people are going to be speaking their truth, right? Slip-ups, confessing secrets, saying things that they didn't mean to say. So you're going to really see people for who they are. So take it for what it is. In addition, Venus in the sky is in a trine to the planet Pluto. Now, I don't talk about trines a lot, but trines are harmonious aspects. Trines are when one planet is like helping the other get to a goal. And Pluto is all about like control, manipulation, the secrets, the underworld. It's like those deep, deep emotions that we have. And he's really supporting Venus at this time to say, hey, if there is some form of control, manipulation, some sort of ego involved here, there's some sort of like deep psyche, some triggers or traumas or something under the surface that is causing this relationship to be unruly, unrestful, off balance, right? Back to the scales, off balance. We're going to have to course correct, and I'm going to help you see it. I'm going to help you identify it so that we can Mercury communicate what we're noticing, what we're seeing, what we're analyzing, Virgo, and making decisions as we move forward. So we can have these new moon, new relationships, new beginnings, new intentions. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we need to scrap every relationship and start new if it's not working. It just means that we have to hit the reset button and create boundaries and communicate clearly to say to someone, hey, to stay in my life, this is what I need to happen. In addition, this new moon that we can see here in the sky in Libra is directly opposite the sky of Jupiter. And Jupiter is also retrograde. We are knee deep in retrograde energy right now, so we're not meant to be going forward. I've talked about this so much in the last week over on TikTok, on Instagram. I talked about it in the What's in the Stars Saturday. We're in retrograde season, 6 planets retrograde at the time of this new moon. We're not meant to be going out and actually forming new relationships. We're not meant to be going out and creating all this new. We're meant to be thinking about, setting the intention, getting clarity, taking the time to pause and reflect and figure out during the darkness of this new moon of what I want to manifest and create as that moon gets lighter and brighter and as these planets come out of retrograde. So be very cautious that you're not like throwing the baby out with the bathwater and getting rid of everyone in your life. We can course correct. We can edit, delete, reanalyze, restructure, reassess, retrogrades, right? So this is a time of pausing and reflecting, not necessarily going out and physically doing something new. So with that, back to Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of growth, of prosperity, of blessings. But as he's retrograde, those things dry up. Again, not time to have new opportunities with new clients, new business partners, new collaborations, new romantic partners. We're not meant for that new. Jupiter is not in expansion mode. He's in contraction of reflection. So he's directly across from this new moon saying, hey, don't run ahead. We don't need new. Let's work with what we already got. So we got to pay attention to what we already have. So those are the major players that are participating at the time of this new moon in Libra, these life coaches that are assisting us in this new beginning that we're creating around this time. So hopefully that all makes sense for you. And as always, I'm going to leave you with some rituals and activities that you can do around the time of this new moon. Remember, new moon energy can be felt 3 days before up to 3 days after. So you have time to perform one of these activities or rituals and to set your intentions for this new moon. So starting out with number 1, which I actually have listed in the 2022 Retrograde Astrology Journal, is to create an appreciation list for your friends. This is a great time to pause. Jupiter loves gratitude, to reflect and to be grateful for what you already have. And new moons are new beginnings. And if you want more appreciation, you want more love, you want more compassion in your relationships, start with you. Start by writing down all the things that you appreciate about the people already in your life. This changes perspective. It changes the way that you communicate. So do that. And then with that, you can either make a post about them on social media, you can send them a private text message, maybe send them a handwritten letter. Do something that spreads appreciation and gratitude using the way that you communicate and shifting the dynamic in your relationship, starting with your own actions. Second thing I would do around the time of this new moon as you're performing your new moon ritual or just sitting in silent meditation is grab your journal and write out your boundaries list. Do you have a boundaries list in relationships? So for instance, if I come to your house 3 times, I expect you to come to my house at least once. Or maybe my boundary is that every time you start getting really loud and I ask you to tone it down and you don't, I will leave the room, right? That's a boundary, it's very clear. I would write out my boundaries that are being violated or ways that I'm noticing the people around me are overstepping or infringing on the things that I want or desire, and get really clear about that. Take some time to pause and reflect and get very Virgo, analytical, very detailed. What exactly is it? Is it the tone? Is it the language? Is it the body language? If they were yelling and sitting down, would it be easier than if they were yelling and standing up, right? Get very clear on these things. And along with that, I would also make a column for my needs and my wants. These are things we don't think about very often, but in order for us to have better relationships and new relationships, new dynamics, we have to be very clear with what we're looking for, what we want and what we need. So let's say you're trying to find a new business collaboration, or maybe you're trying to take on a new client. Do you have boundaries around that? So I'll give you an example. I just opened a new salon space, and with that, I created client boundaries. So one of my boundaries is that people have to book their appointments 2 hours at minimum in advance. I don't want to be on call. I don't want to be sitting around and waiting for people to walk in. I have boundaries that you have to book within 2 hours before your appointment. I also have a boundary around the times that I will take appointment, right? So I won't take an appointment after 7 p.m. regardless. If you can't make it within my window, that is my personal boundary because I want to have a work-life balance, right? The Libra scales. So where in your life can you set more boundaries? Where do you not know your needs? Where are you not communicating your needs? And then what are your wants? What are your desires? So these are great things that you can get really clear around this new moon in Libra because we're relational beings and we're always in relationship with people. So make sure you get some clarity around that. And then the last thing I would do at the time of this new moon is dress very feminine, very Venus. Doesn't matter if you're a male or you're a female, we can dress very feminine, very flowy, in pink and light pastels. Venus is the ruler of this new moon, and Venus is always there to bring beauty and passion and love and pleasure into our life. So I love to honor the goddesses that are involved with the new moon, and Venus is just such a beautiful energy. So on the new moon, on the 25th of September, I will dress very feminine, very flowy. I will do a new moon ritual with like pink crystals and pink candles. I will have flowers and rose petals. So spice up your ritual, spice up your day with really Venusian, feminine, beautiful things that bring that love and energy into your life. So that is all I have for you today on this new moon in Libra. Very short and sweet. There's not a lot of chaotic energy going on. Just remember, we're in retrograde season. You can go ahead and watch my Neptune retrograde video. I have a Saturn retrograde video. I'm about to post the Uranus in retrograde video. So you can check those all out and see what they mean and what we're supposed to be doing during a retrograde season. Also, if you have your retrograde astrology journal, don't forget to fill out the journal prompts at the beginning of the retrograde, in the middle of the retrograde, and then again when that retrograde ends. You will notice the way that you answer the questions, the journal prompts, change as we go through that planet's retrograde, as your mind changes, as your belief changes, whatever that planet is meant to teach you. And if you're still completely lost with retrogrades, or you want to know specifically how each of the 6 planets that are currently retrograde are affecting you, I have the retrograde workshop for sale. It is a virtual workshop. You'll go to the link in the description box below. Once you purchase the workshop, I will send you an email with a link that has a 2-hour video going through every single planet, how to find it in your birth chart, what lesson you're meant to be learning, and you will gain so much clarity around where you're currently at. And a lot of these planets are still going to be retrograde through the end of the year. Make sure you're following me over on Instagram at holistic.soul.sisters, where I'm doing What's in the Stars Saturday, giving you a week-by-week overview. We're doing Favorite 5 Friday. I'm doing Soul Growth Sunday. There is so much information on holistic health and healing and spiritual growth on the Instagram, and make sure you like and subscribe. I will be back with another video, the Uranus retrograde, and we're also going to talk about Venus's journey over the course of the last 9 months and why our relationships have been upside down and backwards since Venus has been in retrograde back in Capricorn last December. So stay tuned for that, and I will catch you in the next video.